What is happening, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Last month we did the entire automotive sales process, and I was thinking about how can I make this easier for everyone that is searching for this topic. And I just figured what I would do is I would take some of the highlights out of the most important videos and put them all in one video. So if you look down in the comments right now, there's gonna be chapters. Any asset that you need, whether it be from the meet and greet all the way into the delivery, they're all going to be in this video, but they're going to be easily labeled down below, so you can just click them, get it, and go, baby, right there. How about that? Automotive Sales 2022. We just went through the entire automotive sales process. I'm not gonna, I mean, you can go back and watch every one of those videos. They're great, but I'm giving you pretty much the Cliff Notes version right here. Right here's the Cliff Notes version. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here is Automotive Sales 2022. Everything that you need to know, all in one video, man. Click down below if you're trying to find something specific. If not, enjoy the video. I'll see you guys next time. Before we get started with the welcome, we have to know exactly where we're going before we even get there, right? That's what a process is. So before we get started with this, I want to share a little bit about what the actual road to the sale is, what did I use for all these years, and what works best. So the very first step of the sales process is the welcome. Next, you're going to do a needs assessment / vehicle selection. Then you got your presentation, your demonstration, your trade assessment, your dealership tour, your service walk, your write-up and appraisal, your negotiation or close, we're just gonna call it the close, and then delivery and follow-up. This is a simple 8-step process, and if you follow it, I promise you, you're gonna sell more cars, you're gonna make more gross profit, and your customers are gonna be a lot more happier. So with that said, let's get into the actual welcome. What welcome I used for all these years that is just gonna really help take the people, put them at ease, to get those stress levels down, and then get you into the next step. Welcome to ABC Motors. My name's Cody, and you are?
Bill.
Bill, so glad to have you at our dealership today. Let me ask you a question, man. Before you left your house or work, were you looking for a car, a truck, or an SUV?
I'm looking for a truck.
Excellent, Bill. Were you thinking something more like a regular cab, extended cab, or crew cab?
I was thinking more of a crew cab.
And were you thinking something that was like 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive?
I was thinking about a 4-wheel drive.
Cool, man. And then in that truck, were you thinking something with a short bed or a long bed?
I definitely need a long bed.
Sounds like you have a great idea for what you're looking for. So you can further get me up to speed? Follow me. So you guys can kind of see how that conversation really can't go any other way. What we're trying to eliminate is we're trying to eliminate things that customers say to us at the very beginning of the sale that just kind of take us off track. Things like, I'm just looking, I'll let you know if I need any help, let me just get you your card. Like, there's thousands of them. And with that conversation, if you do it exactly like that, then there's no way possible that a customer can say that. They're just going to answer your questions back. Occasionally you might have like a butthead that like will just absolutely rebuke it, and that's okay because you try to go through the process, and then eventually you can get to kind of asking those questions and then try to get them back inside. But for the most part, that'll work for the average amount of people, and that'll get them inside, and that'll get us to step 2. So really what we need to nail down, like the welcome is pretty simple, right? It's just simply like, hey, how are you? Welcome to the dealership. My name is, your name is, you're probably already doing that now. Where the biggest difference is definitely inside those either or questions. So if you're gonna memorize anything, I would strongly suggest you thinking about 4 or 5 questions you can get for a car, a truck, or an SUV. I can throw some up on the screen for you. I'll do that right now as I'm talking. These questions are gonna be imperative to get you to the needs assessment, to get the customer inside, sat down at your desk, exactly where you want them. And quite honestly with you, this process, the way that it's set up, it's best for the customer too, because they're not having to walk through all of your lot trying to find the car. You're not to chase keys. They're not waiting on you. You're saving them time. So there's benefits to this for everyone. So our sales process is 8 steps. A customer's process is really only 3. They want to look at the car, they want to buy the car, and they want to get out of there for delivery, right? So it's like they skip all that other stuff. But in reality, they actually need all the other stuff. So that way you can make sure that you give them everything about the car and you can fully disclose everything, and then there isn't any issues later. If you skip a step, generally that comes back at some point, right? Like whether the customer gets to delivery and they're like, oh crap, I thought this had whatever, and it doesn't have it because you didn't know, because you didn't do a good needs assessment. So welcome to, my name is, you are, right? And then either or questions, and then that slick, I'm gonna call it slick. Slick is a really bad word. That really good transition, like sounds like you have a great idea for what you're looking for, so you can further get me up to speed, follow me. If they don't know what they're looking for, you can always say it like, hey man, it sounds like you really don't know what you're looking for, so you can further get me up to speed, follow me. Just flip it on them, right? Like, were you looking for a car, truck, or SUV? I don't really know, either a car or SUV. Cool. Were you thinking like front wheel drive or all wheel drive? I don't really know that either. Dude, sounds like you really don't know what you're looking for, so you can further get me up to speed, follow me. Don't look at them, don't make, like just turn around and walk. And again, 9 times out of 10, the people are gonna follow you right inside to your desk, where then you can kind of deep dive into like, dude, were you looking for specifically for new or used? Were you thinking whatever? And then, you know, your bad credit might start coming up at this point. So then you can get to the process, through the process a lot faster without having to worry necessarily about that out on the lot. And then if you need help, you've got your managers and people right there and they're sitting down so you can get to the next step. They're going to appreciate it more. The customer's going to appreciate it more. Your management's going to appreciate it more. And it's going to save you time. And it's going to really just make those tire kickers like kind of disintegrate, kind of go away. So I think you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. I said it earlier and I just kind of breezed over it. Customers' reactions are generally always the same, right? They say that they're just looking. They say, give me your best price. What's the price? I'm not buying today. I only have 10 minutes. I don't have enough time. My wife's not with me. I just stopped by real quick. And all those things are fine. But when you do it this way and you do those either or questions, and then you say, sounds like you have a great idea, so you can further get me up to speed, follow me. The people, they can't say that anymore. There's no, if you're saying it the way that I said it, there's no way for them to incorporate that into the conversation because they're just answering yes or no questions, right? Like, so were you thinking about a car, truck, or SUV? Well, actually, I'm just looking. Sir, man, no problem. Sounds like you don't really know what you're looking for, so you can further get me up to speed, follow me. Bam. Just get back on it, man, every single time. And as you can see, like, repetition is certainty. I said that in the last video. I did this for so long that like now it's pretty much, I haven't even done it in the last 2 years, but it's pretty much second nature, right? Like just right off the hip, just right off, it just flows. Smooth like butter, baby, smooth like butter. We have made it past the initial meet and greet and we have brought our customers inside, and today we're going to be working on the needs assessment, the needs analysis within the automotive sales process. So if you're new here, my name's Cody Reed. I'm going over the whole month of February. This is February 2022. This whole month we are going over the sales process. So if you've been following along, we took about 4 days to really get down the sales welcome, the sales meet and greet. And basically that whole meet and greet or sales process is structured to get your customer to follow you inside. So now that we're here, it's warm, it's cozy, it's nice, it is accommodating, and our customer stress levels are pretty high, right? Anytime a customer is inside our dealership, they are not feeling like super chill. They're not feeling like they're at home. And that's our job to make sure that we do that. So why do we want to bring a customer inside? There's multiple reasons, but the first reason that we want to do that is definitely control. We want to have control of the deal. The customer also would like to have control of the deal. When we have control, we can help find them the right vehicle the first time, save you time, save them time. It just makes the whole process go so much easier. So the first reason why we would bring a customer inside is control. The second reason is for a warm introduction. When I was in sales management, I loved to have the opportunity to meet the customer early. So that way, later in the sale, when we got to negotiation, I wasn't the manager. Like they weren't just like getting a chance to meet me there, right? Like I had already known these people. I've already met those people, and I've already had a pretty good idea as far as like how the deal was going to be going down. You know what I'm saying? So control, a warm, I'm just going to call it a warm introduction to your sales manager. Hopefully your sales manager will get off his butt, right? He'll get off his butt and get out there and be like, hey, what's going on, folks? How you doing today? So appreciate that you're here. Cody's going to handle Cody, that's my name, Cody. Cody's going to handle everything about the deal. And then my only job is to make sure that the numbers are agreeable so you can take a new car home today. Boom. Man, I've done that so many times. It's like right up here. But yeah, that's the only thing the manager's going to say, right? He's just going to come in, he's going to say hello, like make sure they feel welcome, and then he's going to bounce. But it's just so that way later, if you need him or her, they are available and they've already met this person. They've already met the sales manager. Additionally, we want that control. We want that warm introduction, but we need information. In order for us to show them the right car, we got to make sure that we ask the right questions at this point, so that when we get outside and we start showing them a vehicle, we are showing them a vehicle that they're actually interested in, that actually meets all their needs. So when we sit them down, we're asking them for their name, we're asking them for their phone number, we're asking for all the things that we need, but we're also finding out what they want. So that way, whenever we get outside again, it's not a mystery. We're taking all the guesswork out of it, right? And what's going to happen is the more information that you get, the better you're going to be able to sell, the better you're going to be able to explain the vehicle to them when you get outside. So that's what all this is for. And it's part of the process. You have this process and it's part of the process. That is why you're bringing your customer inside. So those are the reasons why we want our customers sitting at our desk, why we want that environment warm and cozy and it's controlled and all that good stuff. That is what we're looking for to get out of this customer every single time. So once they get to your desk, you're going to need to know exactly what to ask them. So I'm going to make that easy for you. I'm going to just pop those questions, or pop some questions just to kind of help get you started. I'm going to pop those up on the screen right now as I run through them. How can I best accommodate your needs? What can I help you accomplish today? As we go through the process today, would you rather me write things down or simply just talk about them? Have you ever visited our dealership before? How did you hear about us? What do you expect from the dealership that you choose to do business with? What brought you into our dealership today? Have you ever purchased a vehicle from our dealership? Is our dealership location closer to your home or work? What do you like most about the vehicle you currently own? What would you like to do differently? Have you ever owned a Chevrolet? Have you ever owned a Ford before? How would you like your vehicle equipped? Will you be adding a vehicle or replacing your current vehicle? Tell me more about the vehicle that you're currently driving. What other vehicles are you considering? What made you decide to replace your current vehicle? What is your current payment? Where is your vehicle financed currently? If I could show you a vehicle of the same quality and the same value and save you some money, would you consider that? That's a good question for a switch, guys. So if a guy comes in and he's looking at a fully decked out Tahoe, and you know that the features that he just told you that he's looking for are actually available in more of an entry model, you can have that then to show him later whenever the price comes up. I like that. I like that question a lot. So there's just a few questions, y'all, to help you get started. There's just a few questions you can have. Obviously, you're going to need to get their name and their address and their phone number. But those questions that I just popped up on the screen, if you take like 1 or 2 or 3 of those from each section, I'm sure that that'll help you move the process along and get questions to the answers that you need. So whenever you're doing these questions, I really want you to think of an acronym. And as you're doing this acronym, it's really going to help you during the demonstration phase or during the vehicle selection phase. So the acronym is this. The acronym is SPACED. S-P-A-C-E-D. You just saw it on the screen. So safety, performance, appearance, comfort and convenience, economy, and dependability. If you find out exactly what your vehicle is looking for inside those 1 or 2, 3 things, right, you're going to be able to tailor the next step to them. So think of that spaced, right? Think of those words as you're going through the needs assessment and as you're going through the either or questions at the very beginning of the deal. If you keep space in mind, whenever you get to vehicle selection and you get to the demo drive and the vehicle presentation, right, you'll be able to use, right, all of those things that they're saying that they want, apply it to spaced, and then tailor that to that specific customer. Ooh, that is powerful. I love space. I've trained on space so much, and we might actually do a whole video on spaced. But this video is getting kind of long, so go out there today, take your needs assessment, take the questions that I just gave you, and implement spaced into your sales process, and I'm guaranteeing you that you'll have higher gross profits, you'll have happier customers, and your day will just be so much better. Your managers are going to be happier because they're going to meet your customers earlier. So go do it today. S-P-A-C-E-D. Come on, spaced. Safety, performance, appearance, comfort and convenience, economy, and dependability. This part is generally used inside the needs assessment, just like we talked about yesterday. Inside the needs assessment, inside the interview is when you're going to want to figure out the S.P.A.C.E.D. So talking about S.P.A.C.E.D, I just wanted to elaborate on it just for a minute today. I just want to go over a couple things on this acronym and how it's relevant. So I'm going to use myself as an indicator here. I am married. I have 2 kids. I like to keep up with current trends. Like, I like to look good, and I kind of care. I mean, I do care. I do care about, like, we're watching pennies right now, right? Like, we are very into minimalism. So I would say that I definitely watch my fuel gauge. So in saying that, where do I fall at on space, right? I fall into the E for economy, right? Because I care about money. That's what I just said. I care about safety because I have kids, and I care about, I'm gonna say a little bit about appearance, right? I care about the way that my vehicle looks. I like to keep my things tight. I like to keep my vehicles clean. So I would fall into the appearance in there as well. So I would take those 3 things, and then if you were a really good salesman and you found that out, you would then tailor your vehicle presentation around those 3 things, and you would probably sell me, because that is what's important to me. I'm sure yours is probably different. Like, if you're a single dude and you like fast cars, and if you like fast cars, you probably like them to look good. So you would have performance and appearance, and maybe you take long road trips and you like comfort and convenience. I could probably even fall into the C as well. But it's finding 3 things, guys. It's finding 3 guys and gals. It's finding 3 things that your customer really, really needs or wants, and then tailoring that later in the process. So when you're doing the needs assessment, make sure that you really hone in what the customer is looking for by asking those questions that we talked about in the last video. If you haven't done it already, today, tomorrow, take the acronym S.P.A.C.E.D and really try to figure it out inside your needs assessment, so that way you can make more money, you can have happier customers, you can sell more cars, your manager's going to be happy, your customers are going to be happier. Like, it's going to go full circle. So let's take a day and let's just think about space, and let's implement that into our sales process right now. The very first step is to make sure that you, the salesperson, are driving the vehicle off the lot. So we did our needs assessment, we checked in with our manager, we found the car, we pulled the car up front, and then you go inside, you get your customers, and you bring them out and you put them in the passenger seat. That's why I saved that seat between you and I, because that's where your passenger, the passenger seat is where your customer would be, and then in the back seat. So you're driving. And basically what we're going to do is everybody is now in the car. We're going to head out for our test drive. So you're going to start the car like normal, and you're just going to go. You're not going to do anything else. You're just going to put the car in drive, and you're just going to go. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to give you the ability to explain all of the electronics while you're driving, because you can explain and drive. You know where everything is at by this point in the sale. You can explain everything, and then they won't be distracted while they're driving. So a lot of salespeople make the mistake of letting the customer drive off the lot, which isn't really a bad thing. But at this point, this is so uncomfortable to them because they've never driven this car before. They don't know where the radio's at. They don't know where, basic functions they know, but they don't know where cruise control is at. They don't know where windshield wipers are at or back wipers are at. Just adjusting mirrors is even difficult in some vehicles. So you want to make sure that you're driving off the lot, so that way you can explain the things, all the things up front. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to drive to a point to where we can get out safely and start our walk around. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to drive to our point, and then once we get there, we'll pull over, and then we'll do a walk around. And I'll see you at the walk around, because we're just driving at this point. Ooh, listen to that sound. Good stuff right there, man. Good stuff right there. All right, we have made it to our location. Your drive time should take somewhere around 3 to 5 minutes. So find a safe spot that's about 3 to 5 minutes away from your dealership. I personally like to find banks, because banks are a little bit more secure, right? They're a little bit more non-aggressive places. Like if you pull in the back of an alley, they might be sketched out and you might be sketched out. So try to find a bank. That's what I like to do. So I made it to my bank parking lot and I'm ready to start my walk around. And basically what I would do is I would invite my client to get out of the vehicle and take a look at it. And then while they're taking a look, I would start opening all the doors and preparing for my walk around. So assuming that you did that, that's where we're gonna start at. I'm just gonna walk around the vehicle, feature, benefit, feature, benefit. So as you see something that fits into S.P.A.C.E.D, remember we talked about S.P.A.C.E.D the last 2 videos. If you find something that fits inside S.P.A.C.E.D, start talking about it and make it casual and make it relatable to them. And the nice thing about doing it this way is the vehicle is off premises. So the only vehicle that they're looking at right now is the one that you're showing them. Our attention spans are very small, so you got to make this quick, but you also want to make it informative and kind of go at their pace as well. So if you've got someone, speaking of pace, that is very paced, then just slow it down a little bit. If you got someone that's really direct and you know that, then maybe be a little bit faster. And then if you got the extrovert that likes to talk a lot, just stand there and chalk it up. So go at the customer's pace, but be mindful that everything in the cars, like even this car, they have so many features and so many things, and your customer is not going to be interested in all of them every single time, so you don't necessarily have to talk about them. Standard things that are on cars that are safety wise, like, might be a good thing. I don't know, it's all up to your customer. So we're just going to go around real quick. We're just going to go around this car and we're going to find some things that a customer might be interested in. Let's go to first person point of view. Let's go. Whenever I'm starting my walk arounds, I like to start on the driver front fender. And the reason why that I do that is so that way I can make it all the way around the vehicle and then have the door open and the customer ready for their test drive and just push them straight in. Not push them, but you know what I'm saying. It's just an easy transition. We're thinking about the next step before we do this step. So if I was at the front the front fender, things that I might talk about are the wheels on the vehicle, the tires on the vehicle, the paint on the vehicle. I mean, it's kind of funny that I was getting ready to say this, but layers of acrylic clear coat used to be a thing. So we could talk about the paint. We could talk about the breakaway mirrors on this side, or if you wanted to say that for the next side, we could. Whenever we get to the front, the hood would be open. We would talk about engine and gas mileage and warranty and maintenance, things like that. The grill, the headlights, the fog lights, you know, everything up front. Most of the stuff up front is going to be mostly mechanical. So think about it that way. So your warranties and stuff would be brought up at this point. When we get to this fender, we're going to do the same thing that we got to that fender, but say something different. So if you talked about the wheels on that side, maybe we're going to talk about tires or dealership tire. You know, if your dealership's got a tire incentive, like you get lifetime tires or whatever, we might talk about that here as well. As we're going back around to the driver's side or to the passenger side, we're just going to have that. We're going to have that door open, and my car is really dirty right now. We're not going to talk about those stinky shoes, but we might talk about, like, I would talk about the wood grain finish, there, the leather appointed seats, the heated seats, things like that. If you haven't already talked about it, I already see this has got an upgraded sound system. So at this point, I might be talking about the sound system, right? Close the door. S.P.A.C.E.D on the back seat, we're talking about S.P.A.C.E.D, right? So we're going to be talking about safety because that's a hot issue with this customer. So we're going to talk about the latch system, how the doors automatically lock, or you can make the doors lock so that way the kids can't fall out. There's so much we could talk about in the back of the vehicle. So the stitching in the leather is something that we could talk about. We could talk about legroom if that was a selling feature. We could talk about comfort for long trips. We could talk about the headrest being very comfortable for the neck, the window tint on the windows. And again, this is just a complete piece of crap car, you guys. I mean, this is nothing special by any means, but right there was just some really good ideas. Fit and finish. You can see the fit and finish on this is not good, but I'm sure the vehicle that you're selling will have good fit and finish. So we can talk about fit and finish here. When we make it to the back, the new cars, most of the new cars, they don't have gas caps. So that's something that you could talk about, the lack of gas cap. Or if it does, you could talk about fuel mileage again here, or the type of fuel that it takes. Fuel range might also be a good one. Take a step back, we're going to look at the back of the vehicle. Trunk size is always a good thing. Cargo capacity, the third row seat might be a good place to talk about there. I stepped in red ants, y'all. I am getting bit up. Ah! I'm getting bit up by some red ants, y'all. So there's a lot to talk about here at the back as well. The tail lights, the functionability as far as ease of access, getting in and out of the vehicle. Again, we're going to make it to the back. We're going to talk about things that we didn't talk about on the other side. And then it's just going to be a very easy transition to this door being open, sitting them in, getting them comfortable, adjusting their mirrors, adjusting their seats, adjusting the telescopic tilt and telescopic steering wheel, making sure that your customer is comfortable before you hop back into the vehicle. And that's it, guys. That is your walk around. Plain and simple, easy peasy. That's the way that it is. So no matter the vehicle that you're selling, we're always going to start from that front fender and just work our way around. So that's it. That's your walk around for 2022. That's the best way to do it. It's proven. It's a proven process. I did it for many years, and I'm sure that you will find success in doing this walk around this way as well. Happy selling. Towards the end of the test drive, you're going to be faced with asking some questions. Generally, this part of the sales process is a little bit annoying, a little bit, I don't know, when I sold cars, I feel like this was like a little fearful for me. Like I used to get a little bit of fear because rejection could happen here. So you're going to ask your customers a series of questions that imply whether or not they are ready to purchase the car or not. And if you've been doing the sales process exactly like we've been saying, this process or these questions should be relatively easy. Where it gets hard at is if you haven't been following the sales process, it's kind of hard to ask someone if they're ready to buy the car or not if you know deep down that you haven't actually given them all of the things or the best opportunity for them to want to purchase it. Purchase it. That sounded weird. Purchase it. If you haven't given them all the options to purchase it, then it's going to feel a little weird and it's going to feel a little awkward. But I'm assuming that you have. Really, the only question that you need to ask them is this. Hey, Mr. Customer, other than price and figures, which Cody, the manager, said that he was going to go over those with you directly, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to purchase the vehicle right now? The power in this question is going to be in the words right now. You are getting commitment to buy it right now. And if the customer says no, that's completely okay. But at least that way you're able to tell your manager exactly what is going on in the deal whenever you get back. So on the contrary to that, if a customer does say yes, like, hey, I'm ready to buy this thing, then really all you got to do is just show the figures. And then when you bring the figures up, you can be like, bro, like you told me you were ready to buy it right now. So like, what's the deal? It just makes the negotiation process so much easier. And whenever in the next video, we're going to talk about negotiating and closing a little bit. But if you do that right, there really is no negotiation or close because the customer already said they wanted to buy it. And the figures should be pretty easy because there shouldn't be any negotiation. Yeah, so let's take today and let's think about what we just went over. Let's think about that word track. Let's see if we can use it. And I guarantee if you do, you're going to make more money. You're going to sell more cars. You're going to have higher gross profits and all of those things. Today we're going to be talking about negotiation and close, and I'm assuming that you are following the sales process of which we have already talked about. So I'm assuming that you already know all of that information. We have just come back from a demo drive. We've got a committed customer. Our customer is ready to buy right now. They just told us that. We've pulled our vehicle into the sold section. Our managers are all geared up and they're getting ready to give us a pencil. So in the meantime, while they're preparing the numbers for us, we are over having a conversation with them, just reinstating some things that they like about the vehicle. So the way that I like to do it is, right, my manager is working on the pricing and figures. And I just like to be like, yo, man, like Code, like Joe, Bo, whoa, whatever his name is. You really said that you enjoyed the sunroof, right? You really said that you enjoyed the leather seats. I'm making this all up. You really said that you enjoyed the all-wheel drive and the adaptive cruise control and the cooled seats. You did say that this is the perfect vehicle, man. So like, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna get these figures for you, and then we're gonna get you wrapped up and get you out of here as soon as possible. And if the customer already said that they're in agreement to buy the car, they're gonna be like, okay, let's go. The biggest thing with negotiation and closing is all enthusiasm, right? Like you wanna be upbeat, you wanna be happy, you wanna be thrilled. Because if you're not, and you're scared and you're tense and you're worried that they're gonna say no, they probably will say no. So enthusiasm's number one. And then number two, just having a really consistent presentation. I presented my figures the same way for years and years and years and years. So what it does is it's just second nature then, right? Like you could just go bam, 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 bam. There's the figures, and that's it. And there's no questions out of it. So whenever I gave numbers, right, assuming that I have the numbers in my hand now, I never said figures. Like I never said anything. I would just say, hey, here's the current market value of our car. Here's the current market value of your car. With your initial investment of this, your monthly investment is this. If all that's agreeable, give me a signature right here and we'll get it clean and gassed up and ready for delivery. So that was the way that I did it. I know every dealership is different on how they want that presentation to be done. However it is, just memorize it, get it down, get it memorized, and then that consistency will come. So assuming that you've done everything as far as the sales process is concerned, there really should be no negotiation, right? If there is any question, like if the customer would then say, hey, the payment's a little bit higher than what I was thinking, right? I always at that point said, hey, man, you did say at the very beginning that this is where you would say that you would be comfortable at, so I don't understand. Typically, they would be like, yeah, well, I just thought about it and it's just too much money. And then you can start talking about the switch vehicle, because we talked about switch vehicles before, right? You can start talking about, hey, man, maybe we can go to one with cloth seats. Maybe we can go to one without adaptive cruise control. Maybe we can go to one without the $1,000 ad for color. Like you can start taking away things. So you're not taking away profit at that point. You're only taking away things of which they're going to have in their new car. And once you start doing that, typically customers will bump themselves back up. They'll raise their monthly investment or their initial investment or whatever to get to the figures. If you've done the sales process, again, I'm just going to say it, if you've done the sale process the way that we've presented it, I just can't in my head think of anything that a customer would say that you wouldn't be able to either A, go to the switch car, or B, them close right now. Like there's just no other, like, bro, you're either gonna take one with less equipment or you're gonna spend more money and you're gonna buy it right now with the numbers that are presented. I'm trying to think back really hard. Like, was there times that customers didn't fold or sign up on the first pencil? Of course there was. The good news is at this point is you've already introduced your manager. So the manager's already been introduced. So should you need a manager to come in, he's already a familiar face. You can just be like, look, dude, I don't know, Cody, the manager did all the figures, right? I was only supposed to find a vehicle that you liked. You said you like it. Let's see if we can get it figured out. And then you can grab Code and say, hey, Code, man, like you just want to come in and talk to you and put it back on them. I got a dog that's barking. I was never like connected. As soon as I start talking again, hang on. Wake up! All right. I think a lot of times in this industry or in the automotive industry, our egos, right? Our egos get up and we want to be the ones that close the deal, that gets the customer to sign it. Our industry has done that. And I don't think if you do the sales process correctly, it should take the ego out of it. Like, don't have an ego, man. Put your manager in front of these people and be like, bro, it's on you. You close this deal. I got them to agree to buy it. It's your turn. You close it. And then I'll write it up, we'll have a happy customer. But and that's the thing, like when you do it that way, your customer's gonna be happier, you're gonna make more money, and you're gonna sell more cars because it just feels better for the customer. It's more transparent. It's easier for you. It's easier for the manager. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I have a whole master class, a whole advanced closing that goes through, I'm just looking, that goes through, I need to talk to my wife. Not enough for your trade, not enough for, I don't have that much down, like all of this stuff. I have a whole master class for that. If this video gets enough comments, likes, whatever, I'll drop it. Maybe I'll even make it and put it in members only, so that way it's there and it's done. But tons of information, man, on that. But the biggest thing, enthusiasm, follow that sales process, and then just take it away. Hey, man, going back to that switch vehicle, just take it away. Just take it away. If you sold the vehicle enough and you did the process enough, they're not going to want to switch. They're going to spend the money, and you're going to be done. You're going to be writing it up. They're going to be closing them up. So negotiating and closing. We're almost at the tail end of the sales process. We got delivery left. So that'll be coming up in the next video, which is going to be pretty short and sweet. Advanced closing. If you want it, give me a thumbs up. Tell me down in the comments below. That is simple. It's the delivery. The last dealership that I worked at, I was pretty fortunate because we had a specific delivery area. We had like a little garage, and the detail department would pull the car in or back the car in to the garage, and then the people would walk straight out of finance into that little area. That's where we did our deliveries, and then we said goodbye to them. But for those of you that aren't as fortunate as that, sometimes we would do them in the service drive. Sometimes we would do them in the car out front, in front of the dealership, and it's pretty simple. You're just gonna go over all of the features, and then at the very end, you're gonna snap your pictures, and you're gonna ask for that survey or that 5-star rating. That's what you do, man. Like, that's a good delivery. What you shouldn't do is just flip them the keys and let them roll. But I mean, I guess we've all done it, so I'm not gonna fault you too much. Like, I was one of those guys back in the day. I used to flip keys too, but do a good delivery, you guys. Go over the vehicle, ask for referrals, ask for 5 stars, earn the 5 stars, and just provide really good customer service. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be the best at what you do. The delivery really does set you up for your next sale, whether it be from a referral or whether it be from that specific client. Sometimes they'll tell you like, hey, my daughter, she needs a car. So if you see something, like, let me know. A lot of second deals have come out of the delivery because they just got out of finance, they got their car done, they're excited, they're happy, and that's where you're gonna get your next car deal at. So instead of trying to like hurry up and get it done and like run out in the lot, spend an extra 10-15 minutes, man, just chatting it up with them, because chances are another deal is gonna come out of the last step of the sales process. If you guys have enjoyed, the automotive sales process, just give this whole video, just give it a like. I've really been watching analytics, and I've really been watching just everything that has to do with this channel and everything that has to do with just me sitting here talking about the automotive industry. And I do think that this is gonna like not like blow up the channel or anything like crazy, but I do think that there's gonna be a lot of people in 22 searching for this because of everything that's going on right now in the world. Somebody's gonna need some automotive sales. So I'm glad that we got through this together. Next month, the only thing that's gonna stay the same is we're still gonna do some of those car salesman stories, right? I sat down last week and I just went over like just stories, man, like things that had happened to me in the automotive industry. Like, I had a guy that wrote me a bad check, and then I told the story about that. And I think it's good like to get that out because as we get older, we start forgetting things. So, like, you gotta have some good old car salesman stories when you've been in the business for 16 years. And maybe we can even turn it into like, we bring some people on the channel and talk about their stories too. That would be kind of neat. So have a good end of the month, you guys. I really appreciate everyone that's commented, everyone that's been in this little time frame with me. It's been pretty cool to come back to YouTube, and not only that, but share some knowledge that we have. Also but I am going to be dropping some advanced car salesman classes. Like, that was the overview. So I'm just going to take it to the next level. We're going to elaborate on each step of the process a little bit more, negotiating and closing. That meet and greet phase, there's definitely still a lot more to talk about there. So I'll have those videos available too. Just ask me and I'll get you some links to those. And end of the month, we're there. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Happy March if you're seeing this tomorrow or later. And I will see you guys on the other side. My name's Cody Reed, automotive car salesman for 16 years, man. Got all the knowledge for y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Have a good day, y'all. Take it easy. Ooh, just kick the camera. Peace.